And we don't have to deal just necessarily with our own creation of difficulties and crises, but you just look at what nature is doing now, pouring an ash cloud. I don't know the size of it, but it's monstrous.
Oh, it's huge all over Europe, going up 60,000 feet, and all the airports and 12 or 14 countries in Europe and the United Kingdom are closed.
That's right. And volcanic ash wreaks havoc on jet turbines, and you just can't fly through that stuff. So folks, I guess my thing to you again is, and forgive me for being repetitive, but it just bears repeating again. If you have not formulated your plan, your crisis plan, for whatever reason, you name the cause. It doesn't have to be something you can't politically agree with. You think that we're off the charts on. Forget that. Look at something else. Hawk, I believe that this issue last night with this flaming object may well have been a chance for them to test the latest weapons.
Yes, we'll get back to that in a minute. We're going to go to a break here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hawk, up with Greg Evensen. This is the 15th day, old tax day of April 2010. It's a Thursday night. And Greg, you were talking about the fireball last night, the possibility of testing new weapons, whether it was a meteor or an incoming craft. As I've talked about the first hour and then this hour tonight, I see the targeting of some sort of will-be-was or new type X-ray type weapons, and you concur on that, huh?
I do, and I will tell you that just an aside, and I forgot to mention this before, you should be aware, Hawk, and ladies and gentlemen, you should also, if you see the flashing lights in your rear view and you're pulled over, you are potentially part of this network of they are trying strategies, whether it's in the squad itself, on the approach to your vehicle, or whatever it might be, that are new approaches that are being tried with some of the violators that they're going, depending on the level of the stop, whether it's a felony stop or a misdemeanor stop or a traffic stop. And be cautious, because I must tell you that there are new weapons that are designed for immediate takedown of a perp, and do not get yourself in a situation where you have said something because you're upset or you're behind the time and this police officer approaches your car and you jump out of the car. Stay in your car with your hands on the steering wheel. I know you don't want to hear this, but hear it from somebody that knows. Do not incite that police officer. What you need to do is just give the information and get out of there as quickly and as harmlessly as you can, because they are now working on efforts to be ready to incapacitate, and I mean instantaneously incapacitate you, with a non-lethal, supposedly, form of weapons at their disposal that are quite small and are not immediately visible when a police officer walks up. So be aware of that as well. Now,
and you're not just talking about tasers either. I know you're talking about the puke light, aren't you?
Yes, sir. And I will tell you that will that will put you down and out before you even know what's happened to you.
It's extremely powerful, and as you said, a small weapon. I also know that those have been training on those has gone down to the local levels, even in one of those cities you mentioned earlier.
Well, it's happening. They're supplying as fast as the manufacturers of this latest technology can get it out. Why? You ask yourself, why is this? Well, the answer is very obvious. Containment. It is absolutely essential. And they know that with the vast numbers of Americans that are fed up and not going to take much more, they have to be able to take down, incapacitate, and incarcerate people at phenomenal levels, phenomenal numbers, and the only way they're going to do it is when they have the weapons that can do it, and they do. They have them. So
it's a light-type weapon that flashes a certain spectrum of light into your eyes, and that affects the brain and the nervous system, does it not?
Well, you just completely shut down. I mean, you're just short-circuited. That's what it amounts to. And this weapon is so effective. I don't care who you are, how big you are, how tough you are. It doesn't matter where you've come from or what you're doing. You're going down on the pavement. So
yeah, I've heard about it. I call it the puke light because I know that a lot of people upchuck or defecate even or
because it does. Even though you may not sense it at the moment that it occurs, what happens is that your mind is put in the same kind of vortex that you have if you spin yourself around. It's a spinning effect in the mind to disengage it from the ability to be able to coordinate your movement, so you can't attack or run or whatever. You're just completely zapped out, and the result, the afterglow of that, or the hangover of that, is that you can get pretty sick yourself.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's why I call it the puke light.
Well, you're exactly right.
Also, with that respect, we've been hearing about, I know, in one of your old bailiwicks in southern Kansas, that there's been some stops based upon bumper stickers, 9/11 Truth bumper stickers, that type of thing.
Well, I talked to my guy, or one of my guys, north of, I'll just say in central Kansas, and I said, what's going on here? I said, this isn't the outfit I worked with. He said, no, not by a long shot. And I said, I thought you guys were staying above that. And he said, most are. But he said there's some guys out there that are on probation, or they've screwed up and they're trying to make up for it. So they're going max on it. And just again, all I can tell you is, look, I know that you want free speech. I know you want to be able to put on your car what you want to, but it's kind of like the old waving the red flag in front of the bull. Yeah, the bull may not care what color it is, but he knows the flag's been waving, and so don't do that. I'm just saying to you, there's other ways to take out your frustration. Don't put yourself in that situation along the highway.
Yeah, try to get out of the thing without incident and get back home.
That's right. Just be friendly, be respectful, even if you don't feel that way, and give them what they want in terms of your driver's license, your proof of insurance and registration, all that, and just do it. Just do it and get home. Like I say, even if they write you a ticket, that can be paid through the mail. And whether you're guilty of it or not, you can go to court if you don't think you are. But the point is, why antagonize? This is getting to a level.
Because the training level that is being given, and incidentally, folks, Greg has talked about the local and county groups that are being formed with Fed guys leading them, these critical response or critical action teams, right?
Action teams, yeah.
And that the allegiance of some members of those teams may go more to the Lucy-oriented federales rather than to the local police department or county sheriff, correct?
Look, I will tell you, Hawk, there are a great many men and women across this country, and the rank-and-file police officers in all organizations, all levels, that detest this. They do not agree, but I've been just begging the ones that I talk to and pass it on. I say, pass it on as much as you can with those that you trust. Do not raise your heads and be a big pain in the backside to these morons that are leading your departments. Stay stealth. Be there so you can help people down the road. Some have said flat out they will quit the moment that they know that the end has arrived, and others say they'll stay on. And I'm hoping that the majority of those will stay on, so we've got some help in the field from the people.
To nullify those who would do evil against Americans, yes.
That's correct, and we need those folks very badly. And so understand, folks, that there is a very significant number of people in law enforcement at all levels that are not out there looking for trouble and trying to create trouble. They're just trying to keep their heads down and do what they have to do day to day on the highways when they're not sent off to other calls that they have to do because that's what they do. But just understand, they're high numbers, and they're really, Hawk, as never before. They have said, you have been vindicated, meaning me and you and Steve and others. We listen to you guys, and I'm telling you,
it's all coming to pass.
Money. We support you.
That's good to hear. The bad apples in the barrel, those who will do great evil, there are a lot of them. There's a lot of foreigners here that are at the behest and pay of the Northcom, and that includes folks, as you well know, Canadians, Mexicans, and incidentally, isn't it interesting that now the Mexican cartels are using IEDs, Greg?
Well, no, it's not surprising if you look at the greater picture of it, but nonetheless, it's another component of this great picture puzzle that are finally getting, you start with the edges and then you work your way in. Well, we're just about finished with this puzzle.
And folks, do you not think that La MA or MS-13 or the Mexican Mafia or whatever version or that version of the Hispanic street gangs that are part and parcel, and the hitters and armies, the Zetas of the cartels. Do you not think that those, as we used to say back in the 90s, prior to the gang peace, that when they made peace with the Crips and the Bloods all over the United States and the gangster disciples, etc., that the street gangs would become the cannon fodder of the New World Order, Greg, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, and don't think for a moment that these people have not been recruited by the black hats within the major metropolitan departments and even lesser cities of maybe 500,000 as opposed to several million. These people know that they're either going to be working with these guys or they're going to be fighting them, and they would rather work with them no matter how notorious they are, and they are lining